Good morning, my name is Ken Horn. I'm one of the undergraduate academic advisors for Undergraduate Academic Services here at the Broad College. And this video is to talk a little bit about the admissions process that we have, specifically the experiential profile, how the score is broken down, and some of the information that you need to know. The first thing that I want to do is I want to encourage you all to go to our admissions site on our website and go ahead and download the admissions packet. This worksheet is going to be very beneficial for you as you go through this experiential profile, and at various points throughout this video I will reference this packet, so it'll be helpful for you to have it so that you can look along and have an understanding of what I'm referencing as we go through this. For this section of the video, we're going to talk about the GPA requirements. We have a GPA requirement as it pertains to the pre-core GPA as well as the cumulative GPA, which is your overall GPA. The pre-core GPA is determined based on how you're being admitted into the Broad College of Business. For the new admissions process, which you will hear us refer to as the sophomore admissions process, there are 3 courses in the curriculum that contribute to your pre-core GPA. That is your CSE 101, your math, either 103 or 124, or any other substitution that is an approved substitution, and also your WRA 101 course. The grades in those 3 courses determine your pre-core GPA in addition to your cumulative GPA. For the old admissions process, which we're referring to as the junior admissions process, the pre-core GPA is determined by 5 classes: CSE 101, or an approved substitution, your Econ 201 and 202, as well as your Accounting 201 and 202. And again, with that process, in addition to looking at the pre-core GPA, we're also looking at your cumulative GPA. Please be aware that your cumulative GPA is also encompassing of the current semester. So if you are currently applying to the Broad College of Business, we will be using the courses that you're completing in the semester that you're applying as well. As far as your cumulative GPA and your pre-core GPA are determined, there is a point value that's associated with your GPAs for each of those different sections. If you go to our admissions page, you will see the scale. There's a link to the scale where you can see how we assign the point value. One thing that I do want to indicate for you all is for your pre-core GPA as well as your cumulative GPA, there is a point drop off between a 2.99999 and a 3.0. So remember, we don't have a cutoff. However, there is a point value that's associated with being competitive for admissions as well as being non-competitive for admissions through the Broad College process. For this section of the video, we're going to talk about the experiential profile. The dates for the experiential profile vary from semester to semester. The fall dates for the experiential profile are from September 10th through November 15th. The spring semester dates for the experiential profile are from January 10th through April 15th. And the summer dates for the experiential profile are from June 5th through August 5th. With the experiential profile, it breaks down in a number of different ways. The first thing that we want you to know about the experiential profile is that there is no submit button. Everyone has the entire time throughout the application process to go through and edit the experiential profile. We encourage you to edit your experiential profile. What you submit on day 1 should be different than what is submitted on the actual date that everyone's application submits. The other thing, the structure of the experiential profile, there are 5 different questions, and we'll go through those questions later on in this video. And there's also a section for you to list your employment activities as well as your other activities, non-employment activities. And we do want to let you know that you have to list at least 1 for each of those categories as far as employment and activities go. The experiential profile is based out of 32 points, and the better that you do on your experiential profile, of course, that translates to more points in the overall application process. We can assure you that if you go and you have your experiential profile reviewed by an academic advisor, take advantage of some of the resources that we have made available to you as well as other resources on campus, the better that you're going to do in your experiential profile overall. And readers will evaluate your experiential profile on the following pieces. The first is understanding business. The second is motivation and commitment as well as enthusiasm. The third is community involvement and leadership. The fourth is connections between experiences and business. The fifth is positive self-concept. The sixth element is communication skills. The seventh is contributing to a larger community. And then the 8th is the duration of the experience. Suggestions for maximizing your experiential profile are going to be referenced in that resource packet that I asked you to go ahead and download or open in another window to just make sure that you're able to reference it as we're going along. And for this section, I will be referencing some of the specific pages as well as some of the different worksheets that we're going to reference as you go through this. So if you have that resource handy, again, that would be beneficial for you. So definitely take the time, get that opened in another window, go ahead and print that out, whatever it is that you need to do. We'll start off by talking about question number 3 in the experiential profile. And question number 3 has to do with your goals. We have a very simple format for how you talk about, how you write about what your goals are. The first thing is, what is the actual goal? So go ahead and list what that goal is. The second is, why is that your goal? Because we want to make sure that you've taken some time to think about this. And the third piece is, how does it relate to your major? How does it relate to your anticipated career within business? A few tricks and tips for their goals. Your goals should be things that haven't happened yet. Maybe you have an internship that's coming up and you're really excited to have that internship. Maybe you're interested in pursuing an internship and that's something that you want to put down. Perhaps you're interested in joining a student organization on campus and stepping into a leadership role. Those are some examples of some things that we mean when we say the goals. Now, one of the things that we probably don't want to see in here is that it is your goal to be admitted into the College of Business. And whereas that's fine and that's admirable, that's what everyone's goal is as they go through the application process. And that is just not something that makes your application unique. That is not something that makes it specific to you and what it is that you're trying to accomplish. Question number 4 has to do with things that you are proud of. Now remember, if you're proud of something, it means that you have already done it. So we want to focus on some experiences that you have already had. Those experiences can range from when you were in middle school all the way through your experiences here at Michigan State University. And remember, we do have that format available for you to reference. What are you proud of? Why are you proud of it? How does it relate to your major? How does it relate to your anticipated career within business? Something that we don't want to see in this section is that you are proud of having been admitted to Michigan State University. And I don't want to take that away from you. However, everyone is proud of it. I am proud of you for being admitted to Michigan State University. But again, this is not something that makes it unique to you. So what is something that you are proud of having accomplished that can make you say, you know, I really want to include this in my experiential profile? So make sure you take the time to write those down, plan out your responses, and if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to one of our academic advisors within our unit. For question 5, this is going to be your summary of experiences. With your summary of experiences, you need to make sure that you are demonstrating that you are ready for a particular major or a particular career within business. This is really where we're going to ask you to shine through, show that you're passionate about a particular area. If you want to work in supply chain or if you want to study supply chain, how do your experiences relate to that? How do your experiences dictate that you're ready to be successful in studying supply chain through the Broad College or to have a supply chain career? And the same thing can be said for all of the other majors as well. One thing that we want you to know is that you may pull from other experiences that you have. In fact, we do encourage you to pull from experiences that you had in your summary of experiences. So if there is something that you list in this section, it should be in your employment section, or it could also be in your activity section, but make sure that that is something that you're choosing the best possible examples to show, to represent that you understand what it means to have a career in accounting, in finance, human resource management, supply chain, marketing, etc. For this section, we're going to focus on the case study. What the case study is a business scenario followed by 2 questions administered in a proctored setting, and students have approximately an hour and a half to complete their responses. Remember, the case studies are based on one of 3 different topics, and those topics are found again in that resource packet that I asked you to download or pull up in another window at the beginning of this video. Those topics are integrity, initiative and resourcefulness, or professional relationships and teamwork. The skills that we're looking to assess in this include decision-making, problem solving, critical thinking, and written communication skills. The case study is based out of 6 different points, and here are some tips to help you maximize the number of points that you're receiving on your case study. Again, this information is in the packet, so if you have this packet, you can reference page 3 of that packet, and I'll just read along those tips. 1, we're looking at your ability to make a decision. You will need to make a decision and not say, well, it depends. So for example, when you're answering a question, if the question says, would you do this or that, we're looking for you to commit to making a decision either way, not saying it depends on the circumstances. That doesn't demonstrate your ability to make a decision. We're looking for your ability to support your decision and take time to really answer why you would make the decision that you would make. We're looking for your problem solving and critical thinking. Carefully explain what you would do, why you would do it, how you would do it, and what resources you need and how you would get those resources. And make sure that this is something that you do logically. Again, written communication skills, be mindful of your spelling, be mindful of your grammar, etc. And then the big hint, the more points are associated with question number 1. So make sure that you spend more time answering question number 1. Definitely in both, you want to make sure that you incorporate these tips. However, know that a lot of your points are going to come from question number 1 in the case study section. An optional piece of the experiencer profile is the personal statement. Please keep in mind that this is truly an optional statement. We're not looking for the majority of students to complete this. In fact, I'm just going to read the statement directly on the application materials that are found in the resource packet. The personal statement of extenuating circumstance is an opportunity for students to share a circumstance beyond his or her control which impacted academic performance. Official supportive documentation of the extenuating circumstance must accompany the personal statement. That being said, if there's nothing that you have that is available to document something, then that's probably an indication that you don't need to complete the personal statement component. Alright, so this is the wrap-up, conclusion, as well as sharing of the resource portion of the video. And the first piece that we're going to discuss is the point breakdown for the application process. So again, if you go back to that resource document, you'll see on the second page of that resource document that we do have how we calculate our points. They're divided into both academic and non-academic factors, and the process is a holistic review of a student, and it's based out of 160 points. Of that 160 points, 122 points are allocated towards the academic factors, so your pre-core GPA as well as your cumulative GPA, each of those pieces being rated out of 61 points respectively. And then the remaining points, those are going to be associated with your non-academic factors. So that is 32 points associated with the experiencer profile and 6 points associated with the case study. Now percentage-wise, your academic factors are heavily weighted in this process, making up approximately 76% of your application total, and then your non-academic factors make up 24% of your application total. Now, something to keep in mind, you can think about a scenario in which you may go into a final exam with a 4.0 and you have a final exam that's waiting for you, and that final exam is weighted 24%. It is possible that if you do not do well on that final exam, your GPA in that class can be brought from a 4.0 to a 3.0, depending on how the professors rated that exam. The same can be said here. You could have perfect academic factors, and if you don't give your non-academic factors the same attention, if you don't afford them the same time and energy that you put into your academic factors, that too can have a negative impact on you being admitted to the College of Business. We have a number of examples of students who have 3.8, 3.9, 4.0 GPAs who are not admitted to the College of Business because they didn't take the experiencer profile seriously. They didn't take the case study seriously. We also have examples of students who have a 3.1, 3.2 GPA who were admitted to the College of Business because we saw that they put a lot of time and energy into completing the experiencer profile, making sure that they took advantage of some of the resources that we offered, as well as doing well on the case study. So my tip for you would be to make sure that you're looking at the whole process, not just focusing on the fact that you're in good academic standing, knowing that it is possible for you to be a 4.0 student who is not admitted because you didn't take the experiential profile and the case study seriously. And I don't want to see any students in that category. All decisions for the Broad College of Business admissions will be sent through the Office of the Registrar confidential messaging system, and those decisions will go out a week after final exams have concluded. And lastly, I do want to share a couple of different resources that you can consider as you complete this application process. The first being, again, please make sure that you download this resource. There are a lot of people who took the time to put this resource and other information held within this packet together, just so that you can have different writing prompts for the goals, for things that you're proud of, for how to best respond to the case study, how to plan your responses, as well as tips and tricks that are all throughout this document. The next resource that I want to share with you is please feel free to have your experiential profile reviewed by one of the academic advisors in the Undergraduate Academic Services Office. Each of us are more than happy to schedule an appointment with you to review your experiential profile, give you feedback, and answer any other questions that you may have. In addition to using one of the advisors, please know that we encourage you to use other resources on campus as well. So for example, we do encourage students to go to the Writing Center to have their writing reviewed, and at the Writing Center they'll be able to help you with things such as spelling and grammar errors. They'll be able to help you to improve your writing overall. In addition, we have other advisors who are non-undergraduate academic service advisors, and these are advisors who have been helping students through the engagement centers, the NSSC. Those advisors will be more than happy to look at your experiential profile as well. And then last but not least, we encourage you to look at getting your experiential profile reviewed by as many people that you trust. So maybe you have a parent that you really want to get their perspective on your experiential profile. We invite you to do that. Perhaps you have an industry professional or you have a mentor in the industry that you're looking at. We encourage you to take your writing to be reviewed by them as well. And then of course, maybe you have a friend who's already been admitted to the College of Business. Perhaps you can get their perspective as well. But the more people that you have giving you feedback, the better that you're going to be on this process. Again, I am Ken Horn, Academic Advisor for Undergraduate Academic Services, and I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Best of luck to you as you go through this application process.